we talk about self-defense, it doesn't necessarily mean some complicated fancy techniques. Sometimes the best defense is an attack, a hard punch in the face of the attacker. That's the subject of today's video. However, I'm not gonna just be standing here on my own showing you how to punch. We're actually going to show you a real CCTV footage of an incident which happened in the past in Brazil. A person was abducted and dragged to a secondary location. And we're going to be analyzing what this person could have done had she known how to protect herself with straight, hard punch into the attacker's face. Hi everybody, I'm Jack. Welcome to this channel. Okay, so this is today's CCTV footage we are going to be looking at. An 18-year-old girl on her way to church was abducted by a man twice of her size. He dragged her to his car and horrible, terrible things happened to her there. Okay, let's play that footage again and let's see what's actually happening there. So we see a car is pulling to the side of the road and a man comes out, and that's our offender. He goes to the boot and the report says that he had a weapon there, a firearm which he puts under his t-shirt behind his shorts belt. I can't clearly see whether it is a gun or whether it is a knife, but it doesn't matter, it is some kind of a weapon, and he will be showing that weapon to that girl to threaten her and to oblige with his demands. I'm gonna pause it here. You see that he's looking around whether somebody is watching, and he's going to walk to the corner of the building, clearly setting up a trap for the girl, waiting there for her. Now, I believe this was a premeditated attack. He knew she was coming, perhaps he stalked her in the past, he knew the day, he knew the time, and this was quite clearly a well-planned attack, because he left that car not far from that building, not far from the corner, so that he wouldn't have to drag her too far, and he also hid that car from her side so that she wouldn't actually see that the car is parked there when she's coming from the right. So here the guy goes to the corner, he looks through the bars, through that window, he's checking whether the girl is coming. He again looks around, tugs his t-shirt down to hide that weapon. And now he is waiting there, and the girl is just now entering the scene. And if you have a look at the position of the girl, you will clearly see she had no idea he was standing here. So you can see she's gonna almost bumped into him. Now she spotted him, but it's too late. He grabs her arm, and now she's in trouble. She tries to pull back, but obviously what can she do against a guy twice of her size? And he's going to lift up his t-shirt. You saw it now that he showed her the weapon under his t-shirt to kind of to tell her, look, if you obstruct or if you do anything, maybe even if you scream, I'm going to hurt you with that weapon. And she's being very helplessly dragged to the car, and he gets her in his car, and the report says that he spent half an hour with her in that car, and we can only imagine what horrible, terrible things he must have done to her, and how scared this poor little girl must have been. After all, she seems like a pious girl, 18-year-old girl walking on her way to the church, and this happens to her. Absolutely terrible. So, as you could see, that was quite disturbing footage, and not in all situations, but in this situation, perhaps the saying that the best defense is an attack probably applies. If that lady knew how to hit the attacker in whichever way, it doesn't need to be any tidy hit, but if just straight hit with the fist into the face, you crush the computer, the rest of the machine stops functioning. It perhaps gains you a few more seconds to get rid of that grip and run away.
Get off me!
Often there's no time for some fancy techniques, for some joint logs, takedowns, throwdowns and all that. A hard punch punch, 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 get rid of that grip, maintain this, create a distance and get out of the situation. Go to some secure location or just leg it and run as far as you can. So how do we actually punch? Straight, regular, forward punch. Either with an open hand, with the base of a palm, or with a fist, with the two leading knuckles, two big knuckles. Many people think that it's easy. You just punch and that's it, but you would be surprised when you actually try how difficult it is to correctly put that full power and full aggression, full speed behind that punch. And you need that full speed, you need that power, and you need that aggression when you are in a situation which we saw on the video, because sometimes it's a life and death situation. That poor lady was dragged into the car and horrible things were done to her. So in such a situation, when you are fighting somebody who is twice as your size, you've got to go full on with full aggression, with the idea to cause as much damage as you can. So let's have a look how we execute that technique correctly. Of course, we could just punch with our hands. That's better than nothing, but there's more to that. Imagine I want to have full speed and full power behind that punch. What do? I take advantage of my own body weight. If I'm standing this way, facing the camera, imagine that you cut me in half, and if my whole body has got 100 kilograms, imagine that this half over here has got 50 kilograms, and so does this half. Now when I'm punching, I want that half, those 50 kilograms, to go forward, to put it behind that punch. How do I accomplish that? Interestingly enough, when you start punching, don't think that you are leading with your fist. Think that the movement starts from the body. I want this half of my body to go forward. I usually advise my students to begin from what we call a semi-passive stance. That means my feet are roughly my shoulder width. I put my hands in front of my body and I start feeling the balls of my feet. Never starting from the heels, balls of the feet. And now if I want to move that hand forward, if you watch my foot, I actually begin from my foot. I spring forward. Next thing which follows is my hip. Next thing which follows is my shoulder. And then naturally it moves my fist, my arm forward. So if you see me from the side, if I start that rotation, you see that naturally my arm with that fist moves forward. I often ask my students to do this very simple exercise. I take my hands, I put them behind my body, and I just ask them to imagine that they are punching somebody, but they've got no arms in front of them. So all you need to do, or all you are left with to do, is move your body. And the movement begins from the foot. I'm moving my hips forward, my shoulder goes forward, and if I extend my arm goes forward. And this way you can go, because we are standing square on, I'm not in a fighting stance, I'm in what we call semi-passive stance. If I take my hands behind my body, this way I can practice moving either left or right side of my body. Now watch, if I go to a fighting stance, one leg little forward, one leg backwards, I can still achieve the same movement. If I start doing a bit of a dynamic movement, you can see that I'm still throwing those body parts forward and backward. So if I now put my hands in front of me, again I can move around, and if I hit forward and I do exactly what I was doing, spring from that foot, rotate my hip, rotate my shoulder, that fist naturally goes forward, supported by my body weight. Now if that lands on someone, it's going to have some impact. Okay, so hopefully you are able to understand the difference between just moving hands forward and actually full rotation of the body, supporting that punch with my body weight. And you can go as aggressive as you can. Now I'm going to show you how to actually drill that straight forward punch. Of course, you can go dry drilling at home without anybody, or if somebody can hold a kick shield for you, you can use that to a great advantage to actually practice the punches on the kick shield. I'm going to use my partner Abby again for demonstration because the lockdown is not over yet and I don't have anybody else to practice. I want that correct rotation of my body. I want that weight behind that punch. I'm aiming with the two big knuckles of the fist and I try to hit as hard as I can, but not sacrificing the technique. And you'll see that there's a difference between me just punching this way and actually putting that weight into that punch. Or if you don't have a kick shield at home, you can use what we call a melon. It's like a ball with two handles. Abby can hold it for me nicely, that's it. It's almost like a head of an attacker. And I do the same thing. And another option is that your partner, your training partner, holds focus mitts for you. The principle is exactly the same thing. We try to focus on that rotation of the whole body, nicely putting their weight behind that punch. And of course, when you are training at home, you don't have to always go 100 miles an hour with full power. What's also important is to train accuracy. And for that, if you've got a balloon, kid's balloon, it's perfect for training accuracy. Principles are always the same. I want that rotation. I want that power behind my fist. But this time, I'm barely touching the surface. So now we're going to show you how a regular straight punch into the face of the attacker can be a great defense. And that way, the best defense is indeed an attack, because it can just be brutal. You put full aggression, full power into it, you smack the attacker into their face and you run away. We're going to simulate the same scenario like you saw on the CCTV. Abby is going to walk down the road. I'm the aggressor who wants to pull her. I want to pull her to my car and abuse her. She's going to hit me in the face and run away. Hey, come over here, come with me.
Get off me!
Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. If you think this video might help you, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, click the notification button so that you don't miss our upcoming videos, and we're looking forward to seeing you again soon.